Hashtag Team Turtle. Hey guys, you're watching Z1 and Only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a Zoo. Now, we've got some good news to start with, and then something to talk about. The good news is, number one, you guys most of you like the turtle topiary. Some of you were like, turtle or tortoise isn't really in a zoo. They are. Every zoo that I've ever been to has had both turtles and tortoises. I've always owned tortoises, and I have had turtles in real life at certain points as well. And they are always in there. They're usually the giant tortoises. They're not small ones. Usually the big, giant African tortoises, land tortoises and stuff like that. So it works really well, and I'm so glad you guys appreciate it. Second thing, good news and sort of bad news. Good news is that the baby elephant has grown up into a full-sized elephant, which I suppose is a good thing, but it's also a bad thing because it means that they don't stay babies. But he's big now, or she's big now. So that's cool. I don't know if they get any bigger. I ain't 100% sure, because that one in the back is huge. What was the third good thing? Oh yeah, the third good thing is that we haven't had anything else spawn. We ain't had those big elm things spawn. We haven't had anything else spawn. The only thing that are about is a couple of turkeys here and some snails that I think just haven't despawned because I haven't gone far enough away. I think if I went far enough away, the chunks unloaded and I come back, I think they would unload. So I think the command is working now. It just took like a couple of resets for it to actually kick in. But we don't have like random stuff, random mobs and giraffes and elephants spawning all around the place. Now the thing that we need to talk about is the size of the enclosure. Now I've only got one enclosure at the moment, the elephant enclosure. Now, there's a fine balance when it comes to Minecraft. Obviously, if you went into a real zoo and you saw some elephants and the elephants only had this much room to walk around, I would probably complain, saying that, you know, the elephant enclosure isn't big enough. There isn't enough room for them to move in. However, in Minecraft, there is a balance that we need to get. If the enclosure is too big, for one, it takes us too long to walk around to get to the next enclosure. And number two, the animals seem to either clump together or get stuck in corners a lot of the time. Like this elephant's been here for the last 2 episodes. Although his legs are on the outside, it's not like caught on it. He's just sitting in the corner. So if we make it really big, they might only ever go to one corner, and it's going to take us a long time to get around. However, if we make it small, like it is here, it doesn't quite look big enough. So I think this enclosure definitely does need to be a little bit or bigger at least, but make sure not to make it too big. I don't know. We're not going to change it today, though. I'm going to leave you guys in the comment section to put in your idea. Today we're going to be working on the left side here, which is going to be the sort of farm area. We're going to be doing some goat enclosures today. Now, goats are great in zoos because they're easy to manage and they are so friendly when it comes to kids and the rest of the public. Sure, they can knock over some kids, but you can go in, you can stroke them, you can feed them and stuff like that. Really, really cool to be able to do. Now, I want this to come up behind the giraffe here, so we're going to have to take a little bit of this wall down eventually. The entrance will come in time. I'll do it on, like, occasional episodes. We'll work back at the entrance and slowly build it up, put some trees around, put a nice big entrance on it. But I do want to get some enclosures in here first. So, let's get fences. Fences first. Let's get the size of the enclosure and the shape of it. So, I want it to come out of this circle first and then have a path that sort of goes around. So I think I want the start of the enclosure to start around here. We also want some gates to be able to get in. Now there's something always special about these gates. In fact, I might use walls as well. They don't join up. Or full block. I'll tell you what, I'll tell you why I want something like this. I think if we put a fence here, a log there and a fence there, that way we've got the gate in the middle. Now with the goat enclosures, they always have a double gate system. There's always a double gate system, so you can't accidentally let the goats out. So what you do is you go through one gate, you go through this one, oops, and you close it, and then you go through the other gate and you close it. That way, if you get to this second gate, and the goat comes in, the goat doesn't go loose in the zoo. So there's like this like double door sort of thing. They have the same thing in the penguin place as well. Like sometimes you can go into where the penguins are. You can in the zoo near me, at least. Slab. So you want to be able to make sure that the mobs don't get out in real life and in Minecraft as well. So let's have it go like that, and then we'll have this sort of enclosure come this way. And I want a decent amount of room because we want a path that leads through the giraffes into maybe the deer or the antelope enclosure will be probably after this. So I want it quite long. I want it more longer than it is wide. So I think I want it to sort of come out this way now, like this. And then down this side, I want it to start coming this way pretty quickly. Like this. Oops. Like that. Maybe bring it in a block or two here. How far are we? We're doing good. We're doing good. Let's come out again. And then in again. And then in again. Like that. And then we want another enclosed double door enclosure on this side as well. So I'm going to put in one. Whoops. One here. And I think I had 2 blocks between the gates, didn't I? That sounds like something that I would do. Like that. And like that. And we put the gate in here. So, plenty enough room for a bunch of goats to travel around in. Now, I want to dress up the floor in here. Now, goats, I've owned goats in real life as well. I've owned a lot of animals in real life. And we've had goats, and goats trash the ground. There will be no grass in an area that you put goats. It'll either be stoned, or it'll just be mud. And I want to do a mix of stone, mud. I think I'm going to use... Have I got coarse dirt in here? Oh, gravel could work. Coarse. I don't have coarse dirt, but I do have podzol. Podzol. So podzol's good. Podzol, gravel, stone, anything else. That's still stone. Maybe some clay. Clay looks pretty good. Maybe some brown as well. Maybe some hardened clay. And then we've got some modded ones that could potentially look good. This dirt, this is a dirt that came out of Mo Creatures, as you can see. Riven layer dirt. See, that looks pretty nice as well. We can mix all of these in together. Anything else down here as well? There's a load of new icy style blocks. Some ores. We won't bother with the ores, though. And I think that's everything for the blocks, right? Yeah, it looks like it. So, we want podzol. We want maybe some dirt. If we just use dirt and no grass, it shouldn't spread. We want a block to go underneath the fence, like we do over there, to stop it from spreading across and to sort of line it, break it up. We used stone brick for that. So we can grab some stone brick, not monster egg, just normal stone brick to go underneath it. We want gravel. I think we'll use gravel mostly for the pathway that sort of leads you through. Where is gravel? Gravel's there. Okay, so that's good. We've got like four blocks to be able to mix it up with. So let me go around the outside with the stone brick first, and then I'll come back once I've sort of started on the floor itself, because it's a pretty boring thing to be able to have to watch. So I'll be back. Okay, so I've got the stone all the way around the outside. We're now going to do the inside area. Get rid of all this grass stuff. Now, I've put down on the IDs. If you don't know how to do this, there's 2 ways depending on your computer. It's either Control and F3, like hold down Control button and then press F3, and that'll obviously bring up your coordinates and stuff, but just press F3 to close it again, and then you'll have like the numbers after the item name. Or, like me, you have to hold down H and F3, the H key and F3, and do it again. It'll bring up that, just close it again, and then you should be able to see. Try it, if it works for you. They're the 2 that sort of usually work. If not, you'll have to Google it and sort of research for yourself if you've got some weird computer. So, I want to have a gravel path that leads all the way through here, and I think I want to have it just 1 block wide. So, I'm going to go from here to here, and I'm going to try and do a sort of random line that goes through like that, like that, like that. Okay, and obviously I'm going to cover it up with some other blocks as well. I don't want to have a straight, clean path through. But we also have to have a barn next to this, and the barn is going to be able to keep the goats somewhere placed to sleep, or if it rains. But you can also walk through the barn, and inside the barn there's usually like rats, or at least the zoo that I'm in, there's rats inside a glassed area. Sometimes there's bunny rabbits, and there's areas to clean your hands and stuff like that, so we need to do that as well. So let's try an experiment here. We'll go from here to there, and I want to have a mixture of these 3 blocks. So I went dirt, which is 3, podzol, which is 3, 2, and 205. I don't know if the custom one's going to work. Let's just try it first. Set to 205. It did work. Okay. Set to 205. 205. 3 and 3, 2. Oops, I want 3 and that. There we go. So we've got a mixture of all of them then. So we'll go from here to there, there to there, there to there. Now, at first, this might look a little bit ugly, but wait until we get a bunch of them together. Until it's like completely covered. And I think you'll find, like me, I really, really like this way of doing floors. That one to that one. I don't want to go over the path. There to there. Oh, missed a couple. There to there. That one to that one. And by doing it this way, you get a completely random pattern. You don't have to think about, am I placing these right? Am I doing it in a pattern without knowing? Have I got too much of one and not enough of the other? You don't need to worry about that because it's doing it all completely random for you. This one and that one. Oops. That one to that one. That one. This one. And this one. Now, we should be able to still see the gravel path through it. In fact, I actually like the gravel path being solid like that all the way through. It looks really ugly at the moment, but when we get the goats in there and the barn next to it, it'll really, really help. Now, there's something really funny with goats. Goats like to play. They really, really enjoy playing. So what I want to do is I want to get, I think, oak. I think I'll use... No, spruce. Spruce. I'm going to use spruce slabs. And spruce stairs, and I've got the fences already, and I want to make like a little play area for them. Now usually they like to climb up stuff, so we're going to put in a little ramp for them, and maybe this goes to the top here like this. We'll have some stairs, just a little bit sharper of a decline to go down. They love this kind of thing. They'll climb up it, they'll play on it. Everything. There's quite a few animals that are like this as well. I know lions like to play. They love anything that you can they can climb up and sit on top of and stuff like that. So we'll have like that there. Can they get out though? They might be able to get out there. We might have to move this over by one, mightn't we? Like if I grab that and I grab that, I might have to move this over by a couple of blocks. Cut. Let's do it over this side. We've got a little bit more room here. Paste. Oops. Paste. That's a little bit better. So I can remove that one now. And yeah, it's just on the edge. Maybe it's a bit too close to the path, but at least they're not going to be able to jump out and jump onto the onto the fence and get out. That's the last thing that we want to happen. So we'll have that there. This, that one, and that one. Beautiful. Path just edited slightly. Maybe a tree would be nice in here. Just a single tree. We'll grab a sapling. I think an oak one would be the best. Just an oak sapling here. And bone meal. Just one tree on the inside here. A little bit of shade for the animals. It's a nice one. It's a good tree to go in there. Beautiful. So we can walk all through that. That'll go to another path. That'll lead to the llamas and alpacas. And what are they? I don't think we've got... alpacas all up. We can have camels, we can have antelope, things like that over that way. You can't walk through those usually, and we're not gonna, but we're gonna have like the pens on either side. Now though, we want another barn. We want a big barn, a really wide one with a very low roof. I think I don't want the roof to be very high. It's going to be made out of wood, and I think we're going to go with oak wood. We used birch for the elephant one, but I think for this one we want sort of darker colours. So I'm going to go with oak. I'm going to go with some logs as well. We're going to want slabs. I'm going to go with dark oak slabs so they really do stand out. I probably shouldn't have got rid of my wand. And let's just go with that for the moment. So to be nice and big, we want it to start here. And we want it to be pretty decently wide. So I think I'm going to go with 4 blocks wide. or 4 blocks of planks, and then the 5th one is a log at the end before the door starts. It's got to be a nice wide door. I'm going to do a 5-block wide door because people are going to be walking through this. So then we want 4 planks on this side as well before the logs start. So there's the width of our barn, and then we want it quite long. We want it to be longer than it is wide, obviously, otherwise it looks a little bit stubby and weird. So we want this to come this way. Obviously, the fences join up. That's not a problem, though. We just now remove these ones. And I put these down here. Make that all randomized. Beautiful. We can make a door that goes in here, maybe like that, or something like that for the goats to go in. Maybe 3 blocks wide would be a nice number. And I think we actually need to make it... I think we actually need to make it stone so the grass doesn't spread in. Okay. Let's go a little bit further, though. I'm going to say to here. And then I'm going to put the log up. We want 1, 2, 3, 4. And then a 5-block wide for the window. And then 2, 3, 4 for the other planks. And we should have a nice square... Perfect. Phew. A nice square, what do you call it? Shed, barn, set... Oh. Replace air with planks. What are these? Cocoa beans? Seeds. Apparently, if you type in plows, it thinks it's seeds. Why not? Why not? So we'll have that there to there. We don't need this door to be very high because it's only got goats to be able to get through. Maybe we can make it look quite nice and get some stairs to break this up a little bit. Like that. Nice goat. We can still walk through it, but the goats can walk through it nicely as well. On the inside here, we want to have... I think what we're going to do is we're going to make it like that. I want hand washing there. I'm thinking about my zoo. I'm going to be using a lot of inspiration from my local zoo for this whole series. But there's a hand wash basin here. Then we can see, you can't pet them, but you can see the goats. I think I want there. You can see the goats when they're inside through here. But there's always like glass in front. Glass. Now, I might change the texture of this glass because it's very medieval in this texture pack at the moment, isn't it? Would you agree? It's not great. It's not great viewing glass, shall we say. But I do want glass because I don't want people to put their hands or even touch the goats when they're on the inside. You want them to be able to get away from humans if they want to for a little period of time, you know, as they sleep and stuff. But it's not the best. It looks a little bit too irony. It looks a little bit too medieval, doesn't it? So that's something that we'll have to go in and change at a later date. And then this area has rats in my zoo, at least. I'm going to use stairs, I think. Stairs here. Stairs along the top. And obviously glass. You don't want to have the rats escaping. They're usually pet rats. They're not like wild rats, normally, at least. Now, is there anything that I could use as like a rat hut? Yes, a crafting table. That looks like rats could climb in and out of it, doesn't it? We can do like a couple of those about maybe a fence underneath it that they can climb up. Things like that. On the inside here, I really liked the with an air block or whatever it was. What was it called? Oh, yeah, some hay. I'll get some hay ready. What was it called, though? It was this one. Looks great for the floor inside the rat pen. Doesn't it? So we'll have this around here. Again, rats like to climb like goats do, so we want to have some stuff that they can climb up in here. We don't need too much room. This is only like a small thing that you don't really want to stand here and look at the rats. You just sort of do it as you pass, don't you? As you're passing through, you look at them. It'd be cool if these stood out a little bit more. Carpet. Put some brown carpet and some platforms for them to stand on and sort of climb up on. Yeah, we'll use a gate. Why not? Have something a little bit different there. And then we can actually get some rats in here now. We don't want hell rats. Triceratops egg apparently is under rat. Oh, it is. It does have rat in it. Rat burger. Who wouldn't want rat burger? Okay, so we've got the rats in here. I think there's a couple of different colours. And there might be baby ones, I'm not sure. There's always a bunch of them, though. You never get, like, 2 rats. They're always, like, loads and loads of them. But there we go. You can see some rats in there. It's a small enclosure. Let's get the goats in. I think we're safe now to have goats in here. So, goat. We have 2 different goats. We have the one from Lots of Mobs, and we have the one from Mo Mods. This is the one from Lots of Mobs. So this is what these goats look like. I think they're all the same. And then we have this one. That's a baby one. And this one. They both look really, really good. Both goats from both mods work fantastically here. We've got a couple of male ones. Some baby. I don't know if these ones stay this size. I don't know. We'll have to find out. I really hope they stay small. Look, they're already using the... I told you that they like using the climbing frame, didn't I? Look at that. He's jumping. I told you that they like going up and climbing on stuff. He's jumping underneath the door, bless him. Let's make this on the inside. We probably want some hay for some food here. Let's not have those all facing the same way. There we go. We want some water. So I think maybe I can just put the water in the... I don't want them to drown. I was thinking about doing it like that, but will they... They shouldn't drown in there, should they? I'm sure they won't drown in there. And then for the floor in here, we want something... gravel. Perfect. We'll put some gravel in here. We'll do that. We want stone bricks underneath the glass here. It's a really nice breaker block. Neutral, doesn't stand out at all, doesn't attract your eye or anything like that. And then put these in here. Beautiful, somewhere nice and warm for them to stay. He's climbing, he's parkouring. They are the natural parkour animal. Look at them jump. They jump everywhere. Have you seen the video online of the goats that if you scare they fall over? Look at him in the ground. And he, like, the guy will go up to him and he'll go, boom, and all the ghosts like freeze and then like fall over. It's very, very funny. It's a type of goat that does it for some specific reason, or they can get out over there. For some, it's like a natural defense, or it's something wrong with the goats or something like that. It doesn't harm them or anything like that. It's not the kindest thing to do, I must admit, but it is funny to watch. Hello, phone. So let's put a roof on this. This shouldn't take too long. We have obviously the bottom layer. We want this to be a very, very low roof because it's such a big barn. We don't want this to be a tall roof. Otherwise, it's gonna be taller than most things in the zoo if we done it like stairs all the way up. So I'm gonna go up every 2 slabs. I'm gonna go up another one. We're gonna have to put some lighting on the inside for the rats as well and stuff like that. I'm not 100%. I'm not too worried about that at the moment though. So we want to have this coming up here. I'll tell you what. I'll put the roof on. We've all seen me do this before. I should be back. We have an escapee. I thought it might happen. I didn't think it would happen this quick. And I thought we were safe. I don't know where they got out. Maybe they can jump. Goats can jump in real life. Maybe they're programmed to jump 1.5 blocks. I don't know. But he got out. And I don't know where. Did he use the play area to get out? He can't get out over these. I tried to make sure that it's only one escapee. Maybe it was a glitch. I don't know. But they've been playing quite nicely. I'm just finishing off the roof here. I'm going to put a little bit of detail over the top, which will also hide up these ones that stick out. Like that. And over this side. Like that. It went very, very smoothly, the roof. There was nothing really wrong or nothing difficult that I need to sort of talk about. It looks nice, though. I like that. Very, very nice looking roof here. As I said, nice and low. It doesn't look grossly big compared to anything else. But it has put into perspective how small the elephant enclosure is. If you went to a zoo and the elephants had less room than the goats, there's something wrong. But it's very hard at the beginning. When you first start a series, it's very, very hard to know the scale straight off the bat. You have to get a few things down before you really know how big things are going to be. So 100% certain now we will be making the elephant enclosure bigger. It was great as a test start. It was great to sort of work out some of the blocks and how the mobs AI works and stuff like that. But that will be made bigger. It'll probably be made to a little bit bigger than what we have at the goats here, so it'll probably triple its size. I think if we make that enclosure 3 times bigger, it'll work really, really well. It'll give them more room to walk around in. We'll be able to put a few more acacia trees because they look really cool in there. And yeah, as far as the entrance goes, I don't really want to do the entrance until we've got a few more pens about. Once we've got a few more pens about, we can then tie in the pathways and tie in the entrance really easily with the already made enclosures. If we do the entrance first, it makes it a little bit too square, if you like. If you made an entranceway and the paths went in, the path went left and right, well, it's very flat. I want this zoo to have winding paths, how the gravel already is sort of winding through. I don't want it to be in squares, you know, in plots of squares. I want the paths to go round the outside of things and do it all that way, you know. It's really easy to do as well with World Edit. I don't have to like place each block individually. I could just make a brush that makes a small path and just goes along. It's very, very nice. But yeah, it'll go out the front here. We'll move all these trees and bushes and stuff. It'll go out the front here. We'll tie in this round starting area nicely with all of the places. But it's going to take a few episodes. I just want to do it here and there. The goats, though, very, very happy with. I like the single tree in there. I like the little play area. There's plenty of things. Oops, plenty of things for them to do in here. We'll use the double gate design. I'm going to keep an eye on the goats. Maybe that one got lucky and managed to escape. I'm not 100% sure. We do need some lighting in here. We'll use lanterns, I think. Lamp. Yeah, lamp. We'll use lamps in here. That one and that one. Oh, yeah, I need to do something about this top as well. We'll work on the inside of the barn probably next episode. But that should light up enough in here. I'm going to get some hay bales on the outside as well. Make sure that they can't parkour because they're cheeky like that. Get out of the way, goat. I want one there. I don't want them to be able to parkour their way out of the enclosure. So we're going to have to be a little bit strategical on where we do these. Look, they love it. Anything that they can jump on, they love. And one facing that way. There we go. Okay, I'm very happy with that. Water, we've got water inside, but maybe they should have some water on the outside as well. Do I like it in the ground? Or do I think it would be better in cauldrons? Cauldrons and water. Cauldrons would probably be better. Be better. Obviously, we can't have it near the edge because they're going to use it to get out otherwise. They have a cauldron there. The cauldrons don't look too bad as far as like drinking basins go. Maybe we can Photoshop them, make them look a little bit more food-wise, not witchy-wise, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Leaves. We're going to grab some leaves to go in this little area here. Otherwise, it's going to be wasted space. They can't get out using this anyway, so it doesn't really matter. We'll have a little bit there and a little bit there. Just like that. I think that looks really nice. Let's have a look in the shader pack, and then we shall end off the episode. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, then feel free to subscribe. And we shall see you in the next episode. That looks amazing, doesn't it? I love it. Oh, look at them fighting. They're fighting. They've got their heads down. Ooh. Those two don't get along. Maybe we'll have to reduce the amount of males that are in here. We're going to have to add feeding bags as well. Okay. See you next episode, guys.